Hello friends. How are you all doing? In today's video we're going to talk about a war that shook the very foundations of the world. This wasn't just any war, it was the bloodiest and most dangerous conflict in the history of mankind. Yes, we're talking about World War II. This war didn't just claim the lives of millions of soldiers, but tens of millions of civilians as well. It destroyed entire nations, shifted the global balance of power, and reshaped the political and economic systems of the world. So buckle up, friends. We're going on a journey back in time to one of the darkest chapters in human history, a story of power, politics, oppression, sacrifice, and important lessons. How did the war begin? It was the year 1939. Adolf Hitler, the authoritarian ruler of Germany and head of the Nazi Party, was dreaming of world domination. His first major move was the invasion of Poland. As soon as German forces attacked Poland, Britain and France declared war on Germany. That was the moment when the world was pulled into the chaos of World War II. Although it started in Europe, the war soon spread across Asia, Africa, the Pacific, and beyond, becoming a truly global conflict. Hitler's rise and the peak of cruelty. To strengthen his rule, Hitler didn't just rely on military power. He used hate and propaganda as his weapons. He declared the so-called Aryan race to be superior and regarded other races, especially the Jews, as inferior. This ideology led to one of the most horrifying genocides in human history. Over 6 million Jews were systematically exterminated in what we now call the Holocaust. Nazi concentration camps became centers of death, where people were murdered simply for their race or religion, and much of the world watched in silence. Globe showing Europe, Africa. The war spreads around the globe. The conflict didn't stay limited to Europe. In December 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States into the war. The world was now divided into two major alliances. The Axis powers, Germany, Japan, and Italy. The Allied forces, including Britain, the US, the Soviet Union, China, and others. This was no longer just a battle of soldiers on the front lines. Cities, villages, and entire populations were drawn into the war. Air raids, mass bombings, starvation, and civilian casualties pushed humanity to the brink. Crossroads, major battles and turning points. Several crucial battles changed the direction of the war. In 1942, the Battle of Stalingrad saw the Soviet army defeat the Germans, a major turning point. Then came D-Day on June 6, 1944, when Allied forces landed on the beaches of France and began pushing the Nazis out of Western Europe. But the final and most devastating blows were the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki by the US. The cities were wiped out in seconds and hundreds of thousands died. It forced Japan to finally surrender. White flagged the end of the war and its consequences. In 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his bunker, and Germany unconditionally surrendered. A few months later, Japan surrendered too, marking the official end of World War II. But the cost was unimaginable. Over 70 million lives lost. The world had to be rebuilt from the ground up. The United Nations (UN) was formed to prevent such a catastrophe from ever happening again. New borders were drawn, power dynamics changed, and a new era, the Cold War, began. Direct hit. What did we learn? Friends, World War II teaches us a clear and painful lesson. Hatred, racism, and the lust for power only lead to destruction. If we truly want a peaceful and safe world, we must learn from the mistakes of the past. We need to promote humanity, equality, and love so that future generations read about peace, not war. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more real and powerful stories from history. We'll meet again in the next video with another true tale. Until then, take care and goodbye.